Assalamu alaikum. So this is a bit of filler content, so to speak, because I wasn't able to film earlier in the day when I would have better lighting and whatever, a bunch of other reasons. But I want to say thank you for subscribing to my channel. I know that we're so early on and sometimes it feels like, oh, I only have X number of subscribers, so, why even, whatever. But the reality is that there are those of you who saw my content, subscribed, and I want to thank you. It doesn't matter how many people it is. It may never be a lot of people. Some of you may decide this content is not for you at some point. But I still want to thank those of you who are here now for being here. So what's the general point of this channel? If you've been following my work for a while, which you probably haven't, if you're getting this as a subscriber or anyone watching this, but whether you have or haven't, the general thing that I've been talking about in my writing and videos and etc. content online is trying to understand the world, make sense of the world through an Islamic lens, as well as my own reflection and psychology primarily. I want to say philosophy, but unfortunately I can't say that I engage with philosophy in any serious way at this point in time in my life. It's always been of interest to me, but just right now it's been a while. I'll listen to like philosophy podcasts sometimes, but it's been a while since I've seriously engaged in philosophy. But I did go to school for psychology, studied psychology. I did some Islamic studies as well. And so I've written a lot over the years. And so one of my purposes was to just get a lot of my content and thoughts on to YouTube. So for example, you'll see on this channel that I have a playlist that is all of my podcasts. I used to have a podcast called In the Days of Noor. That's what this channel used to be called. And I basically just use this channel to upload all of those podcasts. And I said to myself, okay, once I'm done uploading the podcast, then I might come and really think about doing YouTube again. I'd done YouTube years ago, a very long time ago. And it's funny because I feel like there's once again space on YouTube, and maybe this has always been true, but I feel like there's once again space for those of us who don't necessarily have the fancy cameras or editing or whatever, or not necessarily into that portion of content making, which is great if you have that skill. I actually have another channel where I attempted to do that, but I realized I don't have the time to do that kind of content very often. But for those of us who just want to sit in front of a camera and talk and share our thoughts, I feel like YouTube was a pretty open space for that. I don't know, maybe a decade ago. And I feel like that's returned to some degree, right? There's still the people online who make really cool content with really great editing and the, what do you call that? Photostock? I think so. Photostock images and videos and all of that top tier content that is visually appealing as well as intellectually appealing or entertaining or creative, etc. So that's really beautiful, and obviously YouTube is a space for that. But I feel like I don't know, I just feel like there's also space here for people who are just desirous of wanting to share their views online or their creativity or whatever, but essentially just that idea of putting up your camera and talking without all of the other extra stuff. And actually one of the things that motivated me to get back is that I was seeing more videos of people or where people had low view count. And I thought, you know what? Because in all honesty, when I was on YouTube before, I don't remember how many subscribers I had, but maybe my videos would get a couple hundred views or something like that. I don't remember. But I would feel insecure because I would see people on YouTube who had, of course, thousands or millions of views. And I'd feel like, gosh, I'm only getting a couple hundred views. And there are all these people getting these huge audiences. And it made me feel like I didn't want to be on the platform anymore. I'm sure there are other things going on, but that is one of the reasons. And it feels so silly in a sense, right? But it's so easy to get swept up by for anyone who creates content online. Um, it's so easy to get swept up by other things besides for the main thing that you're trying to do. And for me, it is this idea of sharing my ideas online, and particularly when it comes to this viewpoint, because as I said, I studied psychology, got my master's degree in psychology I got my master's degree in psychology, and then I studied traditionally for some period of time, Islamically. And for me, I really wanted to think, okay, but how do I sort of put these two things together? Not that Islam needs psychology or anything like that, but I just had these two viewpoints, and where possible, I wanted to utilize them to try and understand the world, to try to understand modernity. Because even from a traditional Islamic standpoint, then there are going to be new issues. And so you have to utilize what has come before, Quran and Sunnah and scholarship. You have to utilize that to think about new issues. There are new issues. Islam does not claim to have thought about every single scenario. The Quran gives us a blueprint. The Prophet's life gives us a blueprint. And then from that, we try to utilize it to deal with modern life, to deal with modern issues. And so, inshallah ta'ala, that's the goal of what I'm trying to do here on this YouTube channel. So thank you for following, subscribing. Forgive me for not making a proper video. I mean, I think this is valuable too. I just couldn't do it in the particular style that I've been doing my videos. So jazakallah khair. Thank you for being here. And inshallah ta'ala, bi'idhnillah, I will have a video on Monday, I think it is. I'm trying to keep the schedule of Monday and Thursday, inshallah ta'ala. Also, thank you to, okay, side point, if you want to leave a video now, it's okay. I might ramble a little bit. Thank you for everyone who viewed the Housewives video. See, it's a funny thing about saying thank you, because I know that the people that I'm thanking may or may not watch this video, right? But alhamdulillah, it was nice to see that video, for whatever reason, resonated with people. But I also recognize that when it comes to YouTube and any social media, it's not just about people like your content or not. It's just, does the algorithm show your content to people? So that is a part of it, right? Which is another reason why you don't need to feel bad if you're making content and no one views it. Could be your content, could be the algorithm. You really don't know. But it was interesting to see that video attracted a lot of viewpoints and a lot of comments, and that's one thing that I also love about utilizing this platform and others, is that people then give commentary about this specific topic that you're talking about, which then allows you to think about it further, or think about it in ways that you haven't. I've also made, I think one of the videos I want to make, I haven't written it yet. I have a couple that I have already written, so they'll probably be first. But I really want to talk about the way that modesty protected Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, and the way that it can protect men today, men in particular, but anyone, of course. I feel like it's something that's not talked about, but I won't rant about that. So that's one of the videos, inshallah ta'ala, coming up. I've made a couple other videos, obviously, but I'm completely blanking out. So let me just say again, thank you, and inshallah, I will see you again on Monday with a new video. Assalamu alaikum.